Ready.
The left-hander from Germany, 0-4 lifetime against Azarenka, will try to reverse that trend. Begins this third round encounter.
Love Next. First.
It's been a pretty steady progression through 2015 for Kerber. The best season for her as far as being able to produce solid results. She came into the year with just 3 titles to her credit. And she added 4 more to the tally in 2015.
For me, the real difference maker for Kerber, because of the bad head-to-heads, she needs to be a bit more aggressive, not be on that usual sort of defensive mode, long way behind the court. She has to make quick decisions to get up inside the baseline. Cannot allow Azarenka to dictate from the back of the court today. Azarenka does such a good job of staying on the baseline, and Kerber sometimes gets caught too far behind the baseline.
Double fault for 30 all. Let's break down a couple aspects of Kerber's game, and let's start right there with the serve. As a lefty, that gives her something of an advantage, but is she able to use that?
Well, the problem is for Kerber, she can usually get away with that slider wide or the slider down the tee, which is difficult, but it really plays into the strength of Azarenka's backhand. And Azarenka, you can see, just looking for a backhand inside the baseline.
Azarenka looking to attack early, both with her ground strokes and then coming to the middle of the court, and she has the first break point.
Well, and you hear it say, come on, right away. She knows the importance of starting well in this match because of the matchup record. Azarenka knows if she gets off to a good start, this could be quick in her eyes.
Looking to overwhelm the German early, and she does have the upper hand, and Kerber struggling for first serves. Have to offer a second against break point. Good use of the forehand to spray it wide of the reach of Azarenka. Let's also focus on some of the ground strokes. Backhand, forehand of Kerber.
You know, it's hard to say which one is better. It depends on the day with Angie. I think the backhand is probably her more preferable shot, but she can also be dangerous with the forehand when it's on. That's a matchup that is a nightmare for Kerber because the court position is what is going to win most of those points for Azarenka. Look where Azarenka is on the baseline, right on the baseline. Kerber, long way behind the baseline. The only problem is angles will kill you. You run out of time.
Good. That's a great response to facing her second break point. And I think history seems to indicate, going back to your breakdown of her wings from the backhand side, it's the more consistent and more true. But when the forehand is working and she finds that strike zone, as evidenced on the last point, she can really get some velocity.
It's really where her confidence lies, with that forehand side.
So 2 break points saved, trying to hold on in this opening game. Azarenka continues to be stubborn, moving in on the baseline. well executed. The drop shot from the backhand of Kerber just clears the net, and Azarenka, no time. And when I say stubborn, of course, we mean that in the positive sense for Vika at this point. If she's crowding in, she's going to get herself chances, but this time Kerber just too good.
Yeah, I think a little variety from Kerber will help today with the drop shots, getting Azarenka to not be as comfortable. She's so comfortable on the baseline.
She's able to get through, Angelique Kerber, extinguishing the threat of 2 break points. Azarenka, oh, she would have liked a chance to have pulled ahead early with the break, but it's not to be. Angie out front, 1-love.
Well, I think that's also the renewed confidence in Kerber, and also her ability to be, as I said, to be able to control her emotions, especially the negative emotions. Sometimes she would get down quickly, and I just see her not panicking at all anymore, and that's a huge difference maker. And for me, that's why she's won the amount of tournaments she's won this year.
Yeah, the 4 titles on 3 different surfaces, and you're right, there has been moments in the past. She gets a little temperamental, very emotional. She can take herself out so quickly, just as she can get out in front of opponents and use her weapons to her advantage. When you check out emotionally, it has been her downfall in previous years. Trying to build herself back up is Victoria Azarenka. Talked about injury, coaching changes. There's just been a whole swirling influence on her game from every other aspect than just even being able to take the court with a fresh mind. Back in February, when she took the court in the opening round of Doha against Kerber, she was 48 in the world. Not a place she's accustomed to being for the last half-decade. But there's one thing you say about Victoria Azarenka. She is dogged and she is determined. She knows what she needs to do to get back to the upper level, and she started to produce those results. They haven't come flowing and just in a wave, but it's been a steady build.
Love that.
One thing about Azarenka I noticed the other day against Wickmeyer is also her ability to sort of keep everything in check, the emotions. It was an incredibly difficult match, tested from the very get-go to the end of the match, and she really kept her wits about it.
Continuing to try to find angles and push Kerber out wide of the doubles alley to the backhand side.
I mean, the importance for Angie Kerber to break serve here and to get off to a good start is so big. When you haven't beaten someone ever in your career, it is so imperative you start well. Especially when Kerber is the more confident player you would think at the moment.
Break point number 1. Good serve up the tee to extinguish that threat. You would think, certainly the way that things have paired out, even since the meeting back in February, that Kerber is really at the height of her powers, the focus. She knows full well this is a great opportunity to reverse some troubling history against Azarenka.
Good enough, a little panic with the drop shot from Kerber. And Azarenka easily dispatches this backhand drop shot, not good enough. 2 break points saved for Azarenka.
And the break for Kerber as she puts Azarenka on the run. Vika seemed to be the more aggressive, but it's Kerber who steadied herself and finds her way to 2-love.
What an incredible game there. And can you believe it? 2-love to Kerber. Azarenka looked like she might get off to a flyer of a start. And that's why it's so important to just concentrate, try and win that opening game, because things can turn around at great point. Both of these two are such good baseliners, good movers around the court, defensive skills.
Each with a pair of breaks in the opening service game of their opponent, but because of one extra, Kerber able to capitalize as she looks to protect her lead 2-love.
You see just Angie Kerber's ability to maintain the positive, and I know I'm emphasizing it a lot, but for me it's been the biggest difference maker.
Oh, we've seen a lot of Kerber
year.
matches, haven't we? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you've said it time and time again, Renee, in conversations about these top players, as we'll have a challenge here on the forehand from Azarenka. Chair umpire Angel says watch for the chase review.
This is very close.
Vika was right.
Yep.
Is it that little bit of difference? There's just small areas that make the elite stand out from those who are just nipping at their heels. And for Kerber to be able to shore up herself emotionally, it's paid huge dividends.
Absolutely.
Just called wide.
Love footing.
Top of the net and kicks out. And Azarenka, who missed out on 2 break chances in the opening game of the match, has at least a couple of looks if needed to get back on serve. And though she had 3 potentially, she only needs 1. Order restored for Azarenka as they return on serve. Opening 13 minutes, opening set. Yeah, why not? Find a seat, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. You tennis fan at home, you stay where you are. Enjoy your vista. It's a pretty good view, I would say, to watch Victoria Azarenka and Angelique Kerber clash for a 5th time. Azarenka has broken for her first game. Takes a respite for a moment, waiting for the crowd to settle. Absolutely phenomenal day in Queens. Weather is magnificent, but it's a touch cooler than they've been experiencing here inside Arthur Ashe Stadium over the course of this first week. Especially after working so hard to get Kerber out of the way and open up the court. It was wide open. Yeah, I bring up the cooler conditions because I love it when you break it down, Renee, and you tell us a little bit about this and that. And with the temperature dropping, less humidity, the balls that they're playing with here, from what they played 2 days ago, does that change the dynamic of this matchup?
A little bit. It can in various ways.
Good.
Fabulous backhand cross court. When the conditions were as hot as they were over the last few days, it makes the conditions also very quick on court. The ball flies through the air. Although there's no humidity in the air today, so the ball still will shoot through the air quite well, but the hotter conditions help players like Sam Stosur, even though she won today, because the ball will really jump. It won't really affect this match either way.
But with the successful run that Kerber enjoyed in Stanford on the West Coast.
Very similar conditions today. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
As opposed to Cincy.
Right.
Cincy wasn't that hot this year. It was actually very pleasant. Toronto was very hot conditions. So yeah, this is a lot more like a Stanford day. West Coast, baby.
Yeah. NoCal, near San Francisco area. Stanford on the campus of Stanford University in Palo Alto. There's your champion for 2015, Angie Kerber. Hasn't exactly been what you'd call a serving clinic thus far.
Well, neither of these two are going to hold serve easily today. Neither of them possess very big first serves. They both have a tendency to get tight on the second serves, and neither of them will be too stressed out if they get broken, because it happens quite a bit, especially for Kerber.
Well, you'd hope they wouldn't get too stressed out, because of the 4 games played, there have been 3 breaks. So the returner is in good position, and it's Kerber who benefits. Combined 3 of 8 in break points through these opening 4 games. Don't forget to go to usopen.org. Renee likes to check out what's going on from the day before with the video highlights. There's story breakdowns of each and every matchup. There's a lot of just interesting stuff. I'm telling you. Get it on your server there, usopen.org. Type it, hit term, boom, you're in. Info galore. Kerber.
That's a very unlucky net cord for Kerber. First couple of points on serve are becoming pretty big, because I'm starting to feel a trend.
Yeah, it's for both. And I know the trend you're thinking of, and that is true, but going back to what you said about first serves, I mean, Azarenka is only winning 22% of her first serves. Kerber is outdoing her at 38%.
Yeah, that's some pretty shocking serving stats.
Thus, 3 consecutive breaks.
Love 14.
Torben Bells, longtime coach for Angelique Kerber, though he did take some time off. Bells has been in Kerber's corner for a long time, but he took about a year, maybe a little bit more off to give himself some time. His charge broken once again. It has not been a server's dream to this point. 4 consecutive breaks. The only hold, Angelique Kerber in the opening game of this first set. And she faced break points in that one as well. It was impressive in the run for Victoria Azarenka to be able to pick up her 17th career title, which she did do, beating Angelique Kerber in the opening round in Doha. Went on to knock out some very quality opponents, particularly where Vika was at that juncture of her season. Svitolina, Wozniacki, Venus Williams, and Lucy Safarova in the final.
We talked a little bit about Torben Bells, her coach, Angelique Kerber's coach, and for me, Kevin, that was really the turnaround this year for Kerber. She stopped working with Benji Ibrahimzadeh after Doha, after she lost to Azarenka, and she felt she needed a change. She went back to Belts, who she was working with before, and has been spectacular since that moment.
Yeah, that was really, like you say, the jump start to what's been a fine season for Angie. Big cross-court return, and Azarenka just put it right there where she wants to blast it, because actually Kerber feels pretty comfortable stretching out to that side, doesn't she?
For me, this is her best return, the backhand cross-court, and at times in a rally she can find angles off of the backhand that are just spectacular. Won't be the last one you see today.
Oh, she did well to keep her focus and attention as the ball started to jump away.
30.
And Kerber picks up her 6th winner.
And this is the key in this matchup, I think, for Kerber. She needs to really focus on getting the ball as much as she can to the forehand side of Azarenka. It is without question her weaker side. And that's tough for a lefty, though. They're used to pulling the ball off to the right-handers. Has to change that mindset today if she wants to win, Kerber.
Subtle adjustment there to get to 30 all. Azarenka trying desperately to find her first hold. Has only won 5 of 15 points on serve to begin the match.
Noticing with Azarenka just of late is she's definitely changed the backswing of her serve. Before it used to be a lot more abbreviated, and maybe it's working with Wim Fissette. Maybe that's the thought process of trying to get the serve to be a little more fluid. That was an interesting choice of forehand volley there.
It got the job done.
Certainly did.
She might not be adding that to the highlight reel, though.
Now just watch Azarenka when she's taking the racket head back. Before it was, as I said, more abbreviated. I think trying this now is allowing her to have more, snap at the top of the racket head when serving, because that's always been her Achilles heel.
Charging in off the backhand, but Kerber once again dials up that backhand cross court.
You just know as a commentator or somebody that's watched this matchup so much, as soon as Azarenka hit this and started moving in, I thought, you're done, because Kerber hits that cross court passing shot as well as anybody in the game. Too good.
And Azarenka stuck to the tried and true by coming in to protect the line for the moment, but there was no chance for her once she had hesitated. Cross court was wide open. Kerber makes her pay. Going back to your description of her serve, though, when you have that snap of the wrist, what advantage does that give you previous against what she used to have? Is that abbreviated motion?
Well, when you have a good wrist snap at the top, it allows you to get underneath the ball, gives you more margin over the net, especially second serve. Before, she would always come on top of the ball because she didn't have the snap, and it was always going to go to the forehand side of a right-hander.
Too good. That's nifty stuff, and even Azarenka has to recognize the drop shot was terrific. The lob, even better.
You're just starting to feel the crowd is also starting to file back in, and they're appreciating this because both women now are playing at their very best.
There's the recognition from Azarenka, who's not done yet. Still looking for her first hold. Well done. Azarenka trying to outmaneuver Kerber, but there's Angie, and she reversed direction to get there.
Advantage.
Yeah, it's a bit of a no-no to drop shot cross court, especially in this situation, because Kerber recognized right away it was going to be a drop shot, so she started moving forward. When you hit it cross court, you allow your opponent to run it down, and Kerber, one of the best movers in the game.
She has the conversion to get to break point.
Yes. Advantage.
Now the pressure continues for Azarenka. She's put 22 points in play from the line, and her serve already broken twice. She's facing her 7th break point. That is a lot of pressure Kerber's been able to apply, almost a third of Vika's serves.
Now, I can tell you this game is so important. It's more so for Kerber, just because of the matchups and the fact that she's never beaten Azarenka. Azarenka very comfortable on this court. At 8.5 minutes now, the longer this game goes, the more important it becomes, in my opinion, for Angie Kerber.
Well, knowing the temperament of Azarenka, she still thinks, I'm going to win this set and I'm going to win this match.
Yeah, well, because of the matchups and the head-to-heads.
Yeah. Now the drop shot right now favors Kerber, because Azarenka has tried it a number of times, and the 11th seed continues to close in.
Well, Kerber's a long way behind the baseline, a lot. So you as a player feel like you can get a cheap point from the drop shot. The thing is that Angie Kerber is so quick at running those shots down, and she's very handy with touch shots around the net.
Game. Kerber.
Almost 10 minutes.
Kerber leads by 4-2, first set.
And the first double fault to Victoria Azarenka results in her 3rd break of serve. The struggles continue, and Kerber doubles her lead.
Now the problem has always really been for Angelique Kerber is when she gets the lead, being able to just rip out a couple of big serves. It's not in her arsenal. She just lacks the big power, but it's important for her to get a lot of first serves in this game.
Yeah, coming into this 7th game, just 30% of her first serves finding their mark. But now that Azarenka, maybe with all the confidence she has in this matchup, might be just having a little question of doubt, unable to hold serve. That's not her hallmark by any stretch. While she sometimes can have a bit of difficulty holding serve, the fact that Kerber's getting to every ball Vika's hitting, starting to wear down Azarenka's resolve.
Well, again, this for me is just a matter of Angelique Kerber's confidence this particular year. And the last time these two played was not when Angie was at her best earlier this year. Since then has won 4 tournaments, is a different competitor now. goodness, what a point.
30.
She got the easiest forehand of the point inside the court and misses a relatively easy one.
Had to cover a fair bit of ground, though. The legs seem to give way just a bit.
It's pretty usual for Angie. She runs a few miles in a match.
She does indeed.
But that could be a pivotal point.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the 30-love point to see if Azarenka can fight back. There have been 5 consecutive breaks. Kerber trying to end that run. May see a challenge from Azarenka as she gives the long look down, but she thinks wisely not to do so. Wasn't that close from our vantage point.
I mean, get down, girl.
That's a little Radwanska-esque.
Oh, she does it as well as anyone too. Wozniacki's not bad at it, but Kerber can get down there.
Game.
And finishes with an ace. Not often you see Angelique Kerber rear back and fire past her opponent, but she does. And her second hold propels her to a 5-2 lead. Fifth meeting between Angelique Kerber and Victoria Azarenka, and history has not been kind to the German. In fact, she's only taken 1 set off the Belarusian in their 9 previously played, and that was in the opening set in Istanbul back in 2012.
And I think you and I did that match together.
I remember that tiebreak like it was 3 years ago. Here's Azarenka serving to stay in the opening set. It actually was the most competitive match that these two have played. It was an opening set tiebreak that went 13-11 in favor of Kerber. Vika took it to a second set tiebreak, handled that one pretty easily before winning 6-4 in the third. Only match to go the distance. As Azarenka sneaks her first ace pass.
Now, if you're Azarenka, it's of such importance to try and hold serve here because you know your opponent has some struggles at times serving sets out. Important to hang on and have scoreboard pressure.
And Azarenka has been behind in every single service game, broken all 3 times prior. This is her most authoritative position. She won't get the hold to love, but she's still in good shape to try to get herself a third game and go towards what you mentioned. Put the pressure on Kerber to finish it off herself. Not always an easy task.
Net for serve.
Well done by our staff. You get a good look at the new service motion of Victoria Azarenka, new and improved as she gets the full swing through, not abbreviated anymore. As pointed out by our Renee Stubbs. And there's the hold. For the first time today, Vika Azarenka able to manage a service hold, and it gets Kerber to the position where she needs to step to the line and finish off the opening set.
Yeah, so job done for Azarenka, a really good service game. Certainly it's so much easier when you're down 3-5 to 2-5 to hold serve, and now all the pressure on Kerber.
This will be a good litmus test, won't it, too, to find out if that mental fortitude that's been new and improved in the German's life is up to the task. Well done, Azarenka, as she realizes it's time to up the ante in a sense of purpose.
just really aggressive hitting on the forehand side. That is the weaker side, the one that breaks down for Azarenka, but not on that point. She went after it. That's the shot to look for Kerber. The forehand down the line, wrong footing Azarenka, who's such a good mover, was looking for the cross court, and that's a litmus test for me, that forehand down the line when it's working. Hugging the baseline.
Yeah, pretty sturdy there. Get to 15 all. What a first 3 points. They're just clobbering the ball, seeing who will flinch first. But neither has. It's really been Azarenka or Kerber blasting a winner. Impressive stuff. Azarenka 8 of 14 at the net, really trying to take time away.
Such a good shot. There's just certain things that you expect from players, and one of the things you know from Kerber is if you go down the line on that return, it better be good because you're opening up her best shot.
A little tight, and we thought this might come to fruition as Azarenka has got herself in good shape here to stay alive in the opening set. Let's see the response from Kerber facing break point from her own undoing. Oof. 3 of 10 on second serves.
I'm sure both players' hearts stopped just for a second there to see if that would fall left or right.
That nanosecond of just a flutter go, oh. And the net cord unkind. Azarenka isn't able to jump back into the court of play, and Kerber breathes a sigh of relief. Another double fault puts her in jeopardy once more. Two of those 3 in this game alone as the coaches for both look on. Vested interest, of course. So much riding on this set. Well, Vika's going to assess that point and say what could have been, what should have been.
Yes.
But it was not to be.
Unbelievable retrieving there from Kerber. Just a little fancy footwork out wide and then down the line. Incredible defensive skills from the German.
And 2 break points saved. The determination of Kerber. She didn't fold. She hasn't yet. And now she's in prime position to take just her second set off Azarenka. And more importantly, get her that much closer to the round of 16 here in New York. she was going to have to pay. She's been basically underhanding serves in. 74 miles per hour. Azarenka not going to let that opportunity pass.
Well, the drop shot has worked well for Kerber at times in this match. This one just sat up enough for Azarenka to punch it down the line, and this was an excellent overhead, not easy. You see where Kerber is, and cannot believe she didn't play more aggressively.
That's a major response for her, particularly since we saw some of the reactions that demons of matches gone bad against Azarenka in the past, starting to rear their head.
We're seeing a chase review here. Serve was certainly very close.
Well within. Almost flush on the line, and Azarenka just hoping. Back to deuce.
Azarenka has 2 challenges to make. Kerber challenging a call on the left
challenge.
Service line. The ball was called out.
It's just the ball toss gets way too far ahead of Angie. She needs to bring it back. Kerber struggled so much with just getting the first serve in at times.
And she needs this to find some of that white line, and it doesn't. She loses a challenge. She had all 3 in the set.
Advantage.
But more importantly, she was hoping that the 4th double fault wasn't coming. But she is facing pressure once more. Azarenka, her 4th try to break in this 9th game.
Well, the crowd are getting really treated to, other than the double faults, they're getting treated to some really fantastic tennis from 2 of the best ground strokers, defensive players. And then Kerber turning it into offense again with that forehand down the line.
Quality stuff. You're absolutely right. They've seen a pretty solid and very clean match from both. Both are in the positive, +3 in the winners to unforced errors ratio. That's a great sign, and that includes Kerber's 4 double faults. And the tussle for this 9th game continues. Once again, like a slingshot from the left hand of Angelique Kerber.
I mean, Azarenka has to be thinking, how good do I need to hit my backhand to your forehand to win a point? Well, judging by that, again, pretty good. Watch how she cuts it off here right at the last second. See how she finishes on the baseline. That's cutting the angle beautifully. Got to get the first serve in if you're Kerber. She's thinking the same thing. I got my first serve in finally. An unbelievable return. Both women really stepping it up right now.
to the drop shot once too many. And too many break opportunities for Azarenka not to convert. On her 6th try, she gets things back on serve in the opening set. Victoria Azarenka hasn't positioned herself back inside the WTA top 20 by going away, conceding games, sets. No, that's not characteristic of what we've seen from the former world #1 prior, nor do we see now. Fighting on against Angelique Kerber, finally has a break. It took some doing, more than 10 minutes and 6 break points. But she's on just wide.
But the problem is for Azarenka, well, she's challenging here, but I can tell you even from up here, that ball was way wide. But she is struggling, Azarenka, as much on her serve as Kerber is today. She's only held serve once. She's 38% of first serves won. I mean,
now down to 36 actually with the update, and that's getting 81% of her first serves in. So she's being punished when she is finding the court. So yeah, absolutely to your point. No foregone conclusion that Azarenka has grabbed the momentum, because if you can't hold, it doesn't matter that you broke, because if you're broken back right here, that's the set. Knowing that, looking to take the racket out of Kerber's hand, and in the approach, starting to do better at the net, now 12 of 19 after faltering early.
For me, this is just about matchups and the fact that Kerber hasn't had success against Azarenka in the past, and the thought process is so different for Kerber as it is for Azarenka. Kerber's trying to get through some demons right now against this opponent. Again, just both players starting out a little scratchy in this match, but right now both are playing their very best tennis. It is going to take some special tennis for someone to win this match today.
That's it.
We saw Kerber in her previous service game get punished when putting a 72, 74 mile an hour second serve in play, and Kerber returns the favor, moves the game to deuce, within striking distance, has already held one set point.
Getting up inside the baseline and dictating at the start of the
Advantage.
rallies is the one
Azarenka.
that's winning the majority of them. And Azarenka does a fantastic job early in the point here. She's really hugging the baseline, waiting for the opportunities to come, coming forward and taking the ball out of the air. Nothing Kerber can do defensively.
Game Azarenka.
And Azarenka fired up, and as well she should be. She has found her way back into this set. After trailing 5-2, she runs off 3 straight games. And we're even in this opening frame. 57 minutes in. No idea how this is going to turn out because the shifts in momentum have been stopped every now and again. 6 combined breaks of serve in these opening 10 games.
I'm telling you, Kevin, this is all about the head-to-heads. Kerber does not believe that she can beat Azarenka, and every single point that she wins is of such importance, whereas for Azarenka, it's a lot more normal for her. And for me, Azarenka has stepped it up. Being more aggressive, not allowing Kerber to dictate play. And Kerber needs to turn that around and be more aggressive from the get-go of the point.
It certainly seems as if Azarenka's made a far more concerted effort to take control early. Just trying to crowd Kerber, as you say, just ride that baseline, take time away, really force the issue, and hoping that history starts to creep back into the mind of Kerber and start to cause her problems. Ghosts of disappointing matches past. To her credit, Angelique's been holding up pretty well. Normally her folds come pretty quick when she goes away.
Drop shot has worked half and half. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. This one was very good. Got below the level of the net, and so therefore Azarenka has to hit up or re-drop shot back. And Kerber read it beautifully. 30-all.
All good.
Far sideline, and the ball's called in.
Kerber with 2 challenges remaining in the set. She wants another look. Doesn't believe this found its mark. The chase review doesn't agree.
13-14. Kerber has 1 challenge remaining.
Azarenka 3 of 10. There have been a lot of looks from both. 18 combined break points, but Azarenka hasn't had the lead in this match. And doesn't have it just yet. It's been an entertaining 60 minutes, to say that. There have been some areas that certainly both would like to improve on, particularly from the line, but all in all, terrific exchange between the two. Azarenka with 17 winners to 10 unforced errors. Kerber herself +5 in the differential. Some clean and solid tennis. Very entertaining.
Advantage.
And no longer an internal monologue for Kerber.
The difference in this particular point was that Kerber, as I said, the backhand cross is her best shot, but Azarenka started moving there quickly to cover this shot, and it forced Kerber to do a little more with it.
For the first time in this opening set, the leader is Victoria Azarenka.
6 games to 5, first set.
Rough patch for Angelique Kerber. Can she hold on? Is there enough left for her to be able to impose herself on Victoria Azarenka, who has assumed the lead for the first time with 4 consecutive games, including a couple of holds broken in her first 3 service games. Kerber's hoping to get another peek as Azarenka serves for the set.
Well, this is just the fact that Azarenka has not lost in this matchup. Her belief in herself, and for Kerber, completely the opposite. All the negative thoughts in that brain right now, trying to block them out, are difficult. What I'm noticing is that Azarenka has come forward a lot in the last 3 or 4 games. She is trying to take as many balls out of the air and be as aggressive. And Kerber lacks that movement forward like Azarenka does, which is what makes Azarenka so good on hard court.
Finds the ace at 103 miles per hour. That'll do the job to get her to set point. And she'll have a couple picks if she needs it. This has been
right center service line. The ball was called 8.
a 180 pivot in the momentum of this match, and the credit has to go to Victoria Azarenka as Kerber tries one last effort to see if she can deny set point. It's not to happen. So Vika Azarenka arrives at triple set point. You just get the sense the way this 5-game run has been, she's only going to need 1. And she does. The return too long from Kerber, who squandered the big 5-2 lead. Vika fights on. 1 set from the round of 16 in New York. Victoria Azarenka is steeped in it. Angelique Kerber is going to have to find some of that to be able to fight back from the set down as she drops the opening set, losing the last 5 games to the 2-time runner-up here in New York. So much of Azarenka's prowess and her past success has come from the fact that she's always in it mentally. Very rarely does she fold. She did not when she was down 5-2 in the opening set. But Kerber, part of her success of late, we discussed it through the opening set and we'll continue on, is that in 2015, 4 titles to her credit is because she has found some mental stability that she hasn't had previously, and she's going to need to summon all of that now as she starts set 2 from the line.
First set.
Well, we're going to learn a lot about more from Angie Kerber at this moment, because with the head-to-heads favouring Azarenka pulling out that first set, looking down and out. Now it's for Kerber to dig very deep within herself to see if she can get back now into this match. Torben Beltzen on the left there, Barbara Rittner, who's the Fed Cup captain for Germany, former player, one of my contemporaries.
Faults.
That is a magnificent effort if you consider where Angelique Kerber was. She ends the run of 5 straight games and is on the board first in set 2. Despite a relatively easy hold for Angelique Kerber to start set number 2, the pressure is squarely on the German's shoulders, having now lost 9 out of 10 sets played, and saw that 5-2 opening set lead evaporate. Azarenka has been phenomenal at the U.S. Open when winning the opening set. Those last 5 games propelling her to halfway towards the round of 16. 24-1 at this tournament when winning the first set. Biggest only loss coming in 2009 in the third round when she fell to Italian Francesca Schiavone after winning the first frame. And she has won the opening set in all 4 previous meetings against Angelique Kerber, and we told you, holds a perfect record against the German.
So again, it's very hard when the level of tennis was as good as it was in the end of that first set. Certainly for Azarenka, she needs to keep the energy levels up because it can quickly turn. She does not want to get into a hole in the second set again to Kerber. I think with Azarenka's serve, I'm liking the take back on the service motion. I just wish that it was a little more together. She has that small stop when she goes into it right there. That one, I don't like.
And while it is noticeable, what does that do? What does that prevent her from being able to accomplish?
Well, for me, it just makes, it's an added hitch, as we say. And the more hitches you have in your service motion, the more likelihood of it breaking down under pressure. If you look at Serena's serve, it is just one fluid motion. Forward, back, swing, hit. With Azarenka, you see 1 stop, 2 stops, and then right there, that's a break, and then up, and then another one there. So that, for me, just the amount of hitches in her serve is why she has so many issues with the serve under pressure. Must keep it all flowing. Like for me, when I watch her serve, I get anxious. Because as a player, I know what it feels like to be on that court. I know what it feels like to want to get the serve in. And to think about it and to stop the motion in the motion, I can't see how you have any fluidity and ease to your serve under pressure.
With this being a work in progress, because she has changed from the abbreviated motion, which of the two would you rather have? This more drawn out, or have her go back?
Well, I like the take back she's doing now. That's fine. I just wish that she would do it all in one motion and not stop the momentum of her body when she goes back. Just, you know, you just compare, pull up Serena Williams' serve right now, pull up Sam Stosur's. There's not a break when they take the racket back to serve. And when you stop at the bottom, you tend to not have the same fluidity at the top.
Is it fair to compare, though, anybody's serve to Serena's, perhaps the biggest ever the game has seen? Is that why it's such a potent weapon?
Oh, I just think if you want to make your serve better, why not look at one of the greatest, the greatest serve of all time,
Sure.
and say, why can't I make it more fluid like this? And you can. And Angie Kerber has a quick motion, but her ball toss is too far ahead of her. I mean, I could go on and on for days about service motions and why the women struggle a lot more than the men do. Norman Belts, I'm sure it drives him crazy as well to have to see his charge struggle so much with serving sets and matches out.
Now, hold on a second. Let me just speak for those who are probably going, okay, women have some more difficulty, it would seem. But don't forget, last night, Fognini, Nadal, 7 straight breaks in that 5th set. It wasn't exactly
That's true.
easy going for either of them. That epic and majestic defeat by Fognini over Nadal. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I just wonder, I'm curious, because you hear about all the talk, and we'll have to delve into this in Azarenka's next service game, about when's the right time to make those changes and adjustments. Importantly right now, Kerber needs another good, easy hold, as she did to start the set, because she's trying to build forward progress once again and dismiss the disappointment of the opening set.
It's just such a good shot from Kerber to go back behind Azarenka. Azarenka always looking to cover the open court. And tough with the shadows right now, as you can see on the center court.
Hold wide, and Kerber on the board for a second hold. That'll do well to shore up her confidence. Trying to come back from a set down against Azarenka. Back inside Arthur Ashe Stadium, a chance to see Victoria Azarenka and focus in on her serve once again, particularly her game, which she's been able to shore up mightily. Broken her first 3 times to the line since then. 3 straight holds.
Fabulous drop shot.
15.
Now, you talked about the hitch, you talked about the motion, but I'm just curious, you hear a lot about how players are changing racket size, the head getting bigger or smaller, moving around, just adjustments in equipment, adjustments in form. Is there time in this season to continue to work on this, or is this something for Victoria that should be dealt with in the off season as far as removing that hitch?
For me, it's something you really delve into in the off season, but there's no reason why you can't work on it every single day.
Okay.
And so I think it's a combination. There was never a time if I had an issue with something in my game that I didn't work on it every single day to make it better. And maybe changing it, for sure. You have to do that all the time on the practice court.
Next. Second serve. Thirteen, 15. And 13.
Vika suffering a bit through the lead into the U.S. Open with injury. Couldn't compete in the Washington, D.C. event to start the North American Hardcourt Tour. Had a right shoulder issue. Also retired in Cincinnati with an upper left leg problem. Certainly no stranger to injury either in her career. Has performed well thus far, has not dropped a set en route to the third round, and continues with the 7-5 comeback opening frame. But here's Kerber imposing herself once again, and looking to get exactly where she was in the opening frame when she had a 3-1 lead via a break. At that juncture, very reminiscent of how things began in this match, and yet Azarenka is the one who holds a 1-set lead.
Well, again, this was a matter of where Angie Kerber is as far as the confidence level, her maturity in this particular year, how well she's done in finals, winning a number of tournaments, and how would she respond after losing the first set to Azarenka, who has a dominant record over Kerber. A terrific effort from the Stanford champion. And may I just add, while on air, Kevin, my friend and former doubles partner here that I won the 2001 title with on court 7, Lisa Raymond, just went down in a mixed doubles with Jamie Murray. So officially the last match for a great American tennis player in Lisa Raymond, and so throwing out all my best. Sadly, happily I'm doing the match with you, but sadly I wasn't there for her in the last match here at the US Open. So for American fans who know Lisa so well, the dream has ended in the second round of mixed doubles.
Storied career. Absolutely fantastic resume for Lisa Raymond and her effort. Magnificent run you two enjoyed. The doubles title. You also had a nice little mixed run here as well, so you've got fond memories overall of coming over to Flushing Meadows.
I beat Lisa in the final of the mix that year, so I had to turn around the next day and make sure we win the semifinals of doubles, or I would have been in trouble. But yeah, great career, Lisa, in general. Ooh, this is such a pivotal game for Kerber, because with the lead she had in the first set, she does not want to allow Azarenka a quick break back.
Wow.
So maybe things are starting to shift for Kerber.
Been mixed results from both. The drop shot has been employed often, but Kerber, again, the forward momentum, that quick first step helps her out. I said that this was playing out very much like the opening set. Here's the difference. It was Kerber who was broken to love at 3-1 to allow Azarenka back in. Now with a couple of chances to hold. She won't get the hold to love for the quick reversal, but still with a great chance to shut down Azarenka's momentum.
Refuses to not try and run the ball down Kerber, but an excellent attacking point from Azarenka.
got that whip outside, and it puts Azarenka in a position she can't return.
Kerber leads by 4 games to 1, second set.
Kerber holding on.
Set,
Solid start. 4-1, second set. Victoria Azarenka down a break in set number 2. She's been in this position before. Not unfamiliar whatsoever as she tries to continue her dominance over Angelique Kerber and improve to 5-0 lifetime. A number of these type of physical exchanges. A lot of ground needed to cover from both. This time it's Kerber on the run. Azarenka does not let her off the hook.
You have to think that Azarenka, after winning that first set, maybe settled in emotionally, thinking that because of the head-to-heads that she possesses against Kerber, that Kerber might go away. But again, Kevin, this is the renewed, confident, more resilient Angelique Kerber that we're seeing in this second set. Somebody who refuses to let go of matches easily anymore.
Third save attempt.
But also, let's not forget that Azarenka is very aware of her ability to come back in sets against Kerber. Obviously, she did it in the first set when Kerber served for that first set. She knows that Kerber can't serve her off the court. So important to keep, again, the scoreboard pressure.
Finding her way to her 5th forehand winner on the day. Not an abundance from that wing, but it gets enough to where she can close to within 2 games. A good return. Kerber right there. 1 step to her left. And through the court. Even Azarenka once again recognizes too good. The hold for 4-2. Kerber has to be thinking, here she comes again.
Yeah, exactly. So for Kerber, it is imperative to win this service game for so many reasons. But to get 5-2, that is a big, big difference. But look at off the ground, follow through with the forehand from Azarenka. Beautiful motion through the ball.
$15.
The drop shot has been a weapon at times and also a liability, because on that occasion Azarenka just didn't have her legs underneath her and balance to hit that drop shot.
In many ways, just a reminder, Angelique Kerber enjoying her most productive season with 4 titles. 7 for her career. She's been tripped up in the majors. That's where there's been some difficulty. It was here in this tournament in 2011 she really had her ultimate coming out party. People started to take recognition of her because of her appearance in the Final Four. Would go on to lose to the eventual champion Samantha Stosur.
Well, those grunts and squeals, you were getting louder and louder. At that point, as you see Torben Beltsen, again, the Fed Cup captain for Germany. What a great job that Barbara Ritten has done pulling all the German team together. They've had a couple of really good years in Fed Cup. Kerber's been a stalwart of that team.
And Kerber exactly where she was when set number 1 got through 7 games, a 5-2 lead. The difference, she was serving for the set and was broken. She'll look to break Azarenka to force a decider. Wonderful opportunity for both women to move through in the bottom section of the draw, get to the second week of the last major of 2015. And this 5th battle between Victoria Azarenka and Angelique Kerber is shaping up nicely towards, for just the 2nd time in 5 meetings, going the full complement of sets. Winner to face either Varvara Lepchenko or Mona Bartel in the 4th round.
I can assure you that Kerber wants to win this game because she does not want to have to serve this set out.
Yeah, that's the only difference between the 1st and 2nd set is she's actually trying to break Azarenka to get to the 3rd. She was broken twice serving for it in set number 1, and as we have spoken to the fact that she's worked so diligently on trying to fortify the mental aspect of her game, Angelique has had her moments still. It's not easy to get over the line when you have the lead, and the evidence is in her inability to convert any of the last 5 games of set number 1. 14 winners from the backhand of the German.
Kerber challenging the call on the left baseline, and the ball was called out.
Didn't do or fare too well with her challenges in the opening set, but Kerber with a full complement of 3. Wants to see if she actually found the court. And I think she'll be pleased.
Replay the point.
Kerber just trying to dig her heels in. This is, again, the renewed confidence in Kerber. She's won a lot of tournaments this year. She's had a much better year in respect to results than Azarenka, and it's starting to maybe show.
30.
Just a sense here in Arthur Ashe Stadium that this game is more important as far as the overall outcome of this match for Angelique Kerber than it is for Victoria Azarenka.
Forty, 30.
Reason being, if she's to squander a 5-2 lead once again, whether she's serving for it or trying to break for the set, if Azarenka can impose herself once more here, get so close, yes, serving out the set will prove a monumental task.
Just
the strength in the legs, Kevin, from Kerber in the middle of that point to stop a full run and back up after trying to get wrong-footed by Azarenka. Fantastic defensive skills.
You can see how much it means to her. She needs this break. She wants this set, and she seems determined to get it. You're right. Stopping on a dime, put herself in the rally. Azarenka is the one who blinks, facing set point. The set was almost hers. Azarenka knows she got a lucky break. Ball catching the top of the net, trickling over, helping her save set point. An aggressive return. Kerber with her second set point. Remarkable. Cut so fine, it was perfect and exactly what Kerber needed.
By 6 games to 2.
One set separates both from the 4th round at the US Open. Best of 3 sets, so that means there's just one remaining to be played between Victoria Azarenka and Angelique Kerber to decide who advances on to face either Mona Bartel or Varvara Lepchenko. There in a 3rd set over inside Louis Armstrong Stadium. At last check, it was 2-all in the 3rd. Set number 3 ready to begin. Kerber breaking Azarenka in the end of set 2. Oh, she's in the great spot to start off the 3rd from the line.
There's not a lot of things that are that predictable, but I'll tell you one thing that's predictable. When Angelique Kerber runs down a ball, you better watch the cross-court passing shot, because she will find it every single time. So good.
Very clean match from both. Well into the positive, as more winners than unforced errors on the day. Part of the reason why this match has been so entertaining. 33rd winner for Kerber. That's 10 more than she's had errors. And for Vika herself, 27 versus 19 unforced. The asterisk to all of that, of course, though, is that there have been 9 combined breaks. But let's be fair, 7 of those came in the opening frame. They both shored up their service games in set number 2 mightily until it mattered most at the end when Kerber got her break for the set.
Yeah, for me, this is so much about the match. The head-to-heads obviously favour Azarenka. I feel that Kerber's playing better than Azarenka going into the US Open. This is just a matter of who truly believes that they can win this match now. Just makes you hit one more ball, Angelique Kerber, and the anxiety that grows as an opponent is so difficult. As you see Wim Fissette there on the left, Sasha Bajan on the right. Former hitting partner to Serena Williams, now with Victoria Azarenka.
Vika finding the mark, staying in this opening game. Yeah, that certainly will lend some subplots to what potentially could be a third matchup in the final down the road. We're a long way from that, but Azarenka in the bottom half, Serena in the top half. Sasha was there when Serena took care of Azarenka in the 2012-2013 finals. Vika's kind of got something on her mind right now, though, that's more pressing than worrying about next Saturday. That's Angelique Kerber today.
Advantage, Kerber.
Just an uncharacteristic, unforced error at one of the biggest moments in this first game, trying to get an early break for Azarenka.
Juice. Advantage, Kerber. Juice.
Azarenka just well and truly letting Kerber know that she isn't going anywhere. Screaming after this point, come on.
And looking to elicit a little motivation, keep herself in the mix. So important for Azarenka not to allow Kerber to start to believe she's actually got a shot at beating Azarenka. Pika dialing it up. She's really starting to find her strokes. I would say that somewhat facetiously, but Kerber has, as we've detailed throughout this match, never beaten Azarenka in 4 tries, and it's been pretty one-sided. But today, Angelique is showing signs of self-belief. Azarenka trying to snuff those out.
Advantage, Azarenka.
And once again, Azarenka trying to crowd Kerber, give her just some extra thoughts, put pressure on. Already today, 13 attempts to break serve, 4 times successful. Kerber able to hold Vika off, but under tremendous duress once more. And she's responding very well.
Oh, this is just such a huge game for Kerber. For me, Kerber needs leads in the sets to win them because of the matchup that has favoured heavily Azarenka. Kerber's never beaten Azarenka. Kerber cannot afford to get down.
Azarenka will take another shot. Strong start already, and as we expected, coming out blazing, striking the ball well, and being the aggressor. Already her 6th winner in just 15 points played.
Just the lack of power on the second serve is really hurting Kerber again.
This time she's got it. Kerber disgusted as she slides the left-handed serve out wide, but right into the hitting zone of Azarenka. And so it's the Belarusian on the board first to begin set number 3, a position she has not enjoyed in this match.
Yeah, that was a devastating loss of serve for Kerber, in my opinion. She had all the momentum winning that second set, but the lefty serve just again, it goes into the strength of the Azarenka backhand, and she just climbed all over that return with the angle cross court. She knows how big that game was.
Just a reminder for tennis fans who haven't noticed, where's Victoria Azarenka these days? Former world #1. What's she been up to? Why aren't we seeing her more prominent? Well, she did pick up a title when she was number 48 in the world back in February, winning in Doha. The woman she beat in the opening round, standing across the net from her today. Then she would go on to take down Svitolina Wozniacki, Venus Williams, and Lucy Safarova. And that started a springboard effect, just slow and steady towards a climb back to the top 20. After reaching the quarterfinals of Wimbledon, had a so-so run through the North American Hard Court Tour, 4-2 record, twice reaching the round of 16 in Toronto and Cincinnati, but not enough. But now comes into New York looking for that last day for a 3rd time. Kerber twice getting low, trying to commit that flat ball. But the second time can't get it up and over. And Azarenka looking to make the big push early.
Again, when Azarenka won both of those Australian Open titles and even the run here that she's made a couple of times, she just gets into these modes of not making errors, being so tied up on the baseline, not allowing you any time to recover. And she's sort of in that mode right now, even though she just missed that shot.
Azarenka hasn't learned her lesson. The one area Kerber has excelled more often than not. When Vika's gone to the drop shot, she's done so at her own peril, because the wheels on Kerber have been phenomenal today.
Yeah, but I mean, this was an excellent drop shot, but the angle that Kerber was able to still get on that shot, remarkable. And the big mints. And that, it's just, you just feel there are times when those double faults will come.
Azarenka's second double fault opens the door for Kerber to get on even terms.
Boy, oh boy, for Kerber, that is just a shocking error. Not a good serve from Azarenka, only 90 miles an hour. Kerber did not cut the angle.
Advantage, Kerber.
Wow, too good. That is impressive. And there's one area that Victoria Azarenka always seems to impress, is even when she's up against it, back to the wall, she believes in her game. She has as many backhand winners as she has forehand, well distributed between the wings. 35 winners in total.
Advantage.
But when she shows her medal facing break point, she offers up another double fault to put herself in danger again.
And this has been and will always be the Achilles heel and the knock on Azarenka, is that under pressure, and she's had opportunities against Serena Williams over the last few years and has failed to serve out sets and matches.
Net.
Who could forget the match in Madrid earlier this year, where she double faulted, what was it, 3 times in the service game that she served for the match against Serena.
Yep. Opportunity was there for the taking. Appreciation abounds inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. A well-fought point, and once again, Azarenka trying to find the upper hand, looking for the angles. Finally commits to coming forward and her aggression. Good anticipation once, but not twice. Kerber gets the break back for 1-all. Yeah, you're talking about how many opportunities that Vika's had against Serena. You think about it here at this event. Were it not for Serena, we might be looking at 4-time major champion Azarenka. All in all, Victoria at this event 0-3 versus Williams, 20-1 versus everybody else.
Azarenka challenging the call on the right far sideline. The ball was called in.
Well, from her position, all Victoria could do was watch as it sailed past, and she looked over her shoulder. She saw it might have been wide. At least she's hoping, and she challenges, but it was flush.
Kev, I said it was in.
Oh, I know you did, but I have to recognize the fact that they ran the Jace review. I never doubted you for a moment, Renee. Never do I. Trust all yourself. Well, sometimes food, but never wine, and never tennis.
Food?
Well, we won't talk about it here.
What, because you want pizza and burgers and I don't all the time?
Kerber, 30 love, trying to distance herself ever so slightly, just to give herself a nudge as she continues to believe in her effort today. Kale. It's all about kale. No surprise, though, Azarenka going back to her aggressive stance. It worked for her very well in set number 1, didn't it? Down 5-2, started to move in more, get better depth on her shot.
Yeah, but also the problem for Azarenka is that Kerber is so good defensively on the run with some of these great passing shots. It's when to go in. You have to be careful.
No, says Angelique Kerber. And great hesitation. Just a moment to pause to find out where Azarenka was on the court.
15.
I got to tell you, this is an amazing match we've got on our hands. I mean, both players having to hit some spectacular shots just to win the point. We're seeing the fitness level of both players at their optimum. I'm enjoying it.
Kerber back in front, looking to hand Azarenka just her second loss outside of players named Serena Williams. The last time Azarenka lost here, Makarova in the quarterfinals in 2014. In the midst of a 3-set battle between Victoria Azarenka and Angelique Kerber. Welcome back, tennis fan. A couple of kids that just like to hang out in the Pacific Ocean, spending some time over here on the East Coast of the United States. Renee Stubbs, Kevin Skinner. Very entertaining match. If you haven't been around for much of it, well, shame on you, because this has turned out to be some pretty exciting stuff. Former world number 1, Victoria Azarenka. Tug of war with Kerber, serving 1-2.
I think the thing that's helping Kerber in this match in particular is that the crowd support is really favouring, in my opinion, Angelique Kerber. Maybe because she lost that first set, they wanted to see 3 sets. But you have to think that the crowd, certainly behind the German a little more.
There's a big round of applause for Angelique Kerber when it was announced during the warm-ups that she was a 2011 semifinalist, and a lot of fans here, they're very astute tennis aficionados remember, that was where Kerber really established herself. She came in here unheralded, managed to find her way to the Final Four. Of course, in that semifinal, she ran up against a very sturdy opponent who was just too much on that day. Australian?
Yeah, Sam Stosur. Sam, of course, played probably her best match of her career against Serena Williams then in the final of the 2011 US Open Championships, and that was a shocker for everybody.
(15-14).
And long from Azarenka, and she'll face break points for 3-1. Well, some may remember Kerber as a semifinals 4 years ago. I think for a lot of tennis fans coming in, watching the woman who has been runner-up here twice to Serena Williams, this sort of real toe-to-toe battle has impressed them. The fact that Kerber has just stood in against one of the most determined opponents on tour. This has been a mighty effort, trying to exercise plenty of demons.
It's too good. Azarenka's best shot, the backhand, so reliable
14.
under pressure. Very good first serve, set that point up. And it's the serve that has been the problem for Azarenka in this third set. Can she get out of another jam?
Net. First serve.
Very evenly matched up today. Set apiece. You saw 37 winners each. Azarenka's committed just 3 more errors, each with 15 breakpoint opportunities. Kerber with 1 additional break. Another, and she'd be in the driver's seat in set 3.
Kerber, because she has passed Azarenka a number of times with that forehand running down the line, and that was an excellent volley from Azarenka. Azarenka has gotten very, very aggressive in these last couple of points, particularly on her backhand.
Out of the air, not wasting any time, trying to rush Kerber, and she finds her way through the court once again, and Azarenka holding Kerber off. Quality stuff.
Azarenka.
Under pressure, as you would expect, Azarenka shores up her game.
2 games all. Final
3
set.
winners, saves her from falling behind as we're even 2-all. Well, don't forget, as we remind you, time and time again, usually around the 4th game of each set, usopen.org is your opportunity to pick up souvenirs. They'll ship them right to you. That's how it works these days. If you like a towel, a t-shirt, a koozie.
That's the thing that covers your beer. Listen, I tell you, it is by far the best Grand Slam for accessories.
That's a ringing endorsement. That's from an Australian who has their own slam. You're not just saying that because you want one of those big towels, are you? You mean it?
I can get a couple of those.
15.
No, the US Open by far has always had the best t-shirts, the best hats, the best sweatshirts. The Australian Open is actually the worst.
Uh-oh.
But
remind me not to walk too close to you in Melbourne.
that's probably on record.
Azarenka making a concerted effort here. Doesn't want to give Kerber any thoughts of pulling away.
15-0.
From 15-love to 15-all, and this is where that struggle continues. So fun to watch these two. That not so fun to watch for Kerber's camp. 5th double fault. Just 24 of 42. That's just above 50% on the day. On her second serves.
This is impressive from Azarenka. A two-time Grand Slam
14.
champion, displaying the reason why she has 2 Australian Opens under her belt.
Game Azarenka.
There's the break Azarenka coveted, and she's in front in set number 3 that'll decide who advances to the round of 16. The back and forth continues, but it's Angelique Kerber in a familiar position. She doesn't envy her spot as Victoria Azarenka has broken to pull ahead. It's all too familiar, and the results past, they have not been kind. 0-4 lifetime against the 20 seed from Belarus, as Azarenka looks to pull away. Move into the 4th round, halfway there, and we do know who the winner of this match will face now. Another winner for Azarenka. She's been on fire this set. That's her 17th.
15.
Yes, it just concluded over on Louis Armstrong Stadium. It is Varvara Lepchenko who has defeated Mona Bartel 6-4 in the 3rd to move into her first ever round of 16 appearance here at the U.S. Open. The American next up for the winner inside Ash Stadium before you. Good pickup. That'd impress even you, Renee Stubbs.
Well, I'm just impressed by Azarenka's just ability to really withstand some of the best tennis we've seen from Angelique Kerber. And again, this is just got to keep your racket still at point of contact. Unbelievable shot.
This is really crisis management time now for Kerber, isn't it? She can sense momentum slipping away. Azarenka has been so aggressive, out-hitting Kerber for the most part, even though the scoreboard looks close in this set. Vika about to put a little space between the two and double her lead. Marvelous stuff. And again, you spoke to it early in the match. Beware of going to that backhand.
14-15.
Just has this innate ability when she's on the run, when she looks like she's in dire straits, the ball's so low, and then right at the last second, use of the right hand on the two-hander. Incredible.
Kerber putting up a fight.
40-30.
Well, this is indicative of this match. Just when you think someone has a hold of it, the other one says, not yet.
It's Kerber waving the finger, nuh-uh, after spotting Azarenka the 40-love start. And it makes Vika think, and that forces her into an odd shot selection. Not good execution from that position on the court.
Advantage, Kerber.
Subtly seems to chastise herself for making a poor decision at a crucial time. Here's Kerber. When it looked like it would be 4-2 Azarenka, she's pushing in on 3-all.
Azarenka challenging the call on the left far sideline. The ball's called out.
Well, it looked wide when it was hit. Kerber didn't move, and Azarenka is not moving either.
Her biggest serve of the day, 109 miles per hour out wide. Just her third ace, but it erases the break threat.
Advantage, Azarenka.
How many times has Kerber passed Azarenka with this shot right here? And Azarenka finally covers it.
Elation, as she is finally able to corral with that stab volley. Somehow, someway, Azarenka avoids the stumble.
Azarenka leads by 4-2. Final set.
Kerber had her shot after 40-love break point. It was there, but Azarenka slams the door. And now 2 games away.
Lepchenko. $15.
Continuing the attack, it's what got her to the position she enjoys out front. 13 of 18 at the net in this set alone. Azarenka trying to dredge up some memories for Angelique Kerber that are not fond. 3 times in 2012, Indian Wells, the London Olympics, WTA Finals, and once in 2015 in Doha in the opening round. All losses Kerber suffered at the hands of her opponent today.
You know when it's a good shot, when the player turns around and they have a smile on their face. This was an unbelievable half volley from the baseline. Are you kidding me? That's the best shot of the day. And there's been some good ones. The only thing I'm sad about is that this match is so early in the tournament. This would have been a great quarterfinal.
Yeah, without question.
Would have been a great semi.
Yeah, we might have wished for it to be later in the tournament, but I'll tell you what, I'm happy to be witnessing it at all, as it has turned out to be quite an entertaining matchup. Despite the lopsided nature of their history, Kerber is right back in it. Still needs a break to maintain her presence in New York. It doesn't matter how many times you've been there, how much success you've had, dominance over another opponent. Every once in a while, you need just a couple of reminders, some ideas to formulate your thoughts, your plan of attack. During the sit-down, we were privy. Couldn't quite see the words written, but Victoria Azarenka looked in a bag at some notes she had written down and how to go about handling Angelique Kerber for a 5th time. Certainly permissible.
15-11.
Just little notes to make sure your mind and your strategy is in check. And Azarenka, despite the disappointment not breaking for a 5-2 lead, has the upper hand and wants to maintain that position. You ever keep a little crib notes, a little sheet courtside, Renee?
No, I didn't. Sometimes I would write notes, put them in my bag. I would very rarely refer to them, but it's a good idea because you go back to the basics of what you wanted to do at the start of the match. Sometimes you get so mentally involved and emotionally involved, you forget the basics, and this is the time to remember them. And you can see the calmness. Azarenka has approached this match at 2 hours and 37 minutes. Maybe just reassuring herself what she needs to do on serve.
Found the back of the line according to the signal. Perhaps a challenge from Azarenka. She asks the chair, how many do I have? She has 2.
Call on the left baseline. The ball was called in.
Doesn't want to risk her last one. Or if she doesn't have any at all, Louise Engel says, yeah, you do. Go ahead. And she'll lose and have only 1 left.
40-15. Azarenka has 1 challenge.
One of the most infamous linesman women in the game. That was, of course, the lineswoman who called the foot fault on Serena Williams.
A certain U.S. Open final.
Was the semi actually against Clayson?
It was the semi. You're absolutely right.
It's rare that she loses at all, but certainly in semis.
Azarenka, who had a 40-love lead in her previous service game, and was only barely able to hang on. This time, far easier time to get herself within a game of the finish line. And maybe those little notes, that little check back at what she came onto the court with as far as a plan, just reminded her where she needed to be and how she needed to proceed. So it's up to Angelique Kerber. It now comes down to a crucial moment for her. Does she have a hold, or is she done and succumbing to Azarenka for a 5th time in as many tries?
Love it.
Got to hold serve here. I know it's obvious, but you can break the Azarenka serve. Can fall apart under pressure.
Net for serve. Net for serve. Fifteen, 13.
The last 3 years, Victoria Azarenka could count on New York being a solid result. The second week, each time. Looking to make it 4 years in a row. Match point for the 20 seed. That is moxie, girl.
Well, there are moments as a tennis player that you remember for a long time, and points like that with the crowd and the atmosphere. This will be one of those for both players today.
Just willing her way. A marvelous response from Azarenka. Kerber comes up with the goods on match point, and Azarenka resets, reboots, comes back with a concerted effort. Just wills her way to a 3rd match point.
Well, the crowd that have stayed for this match. They saw the great Roger Federer before. Kvitova won comfortably. This has been by far the match of the day. They're getting rewarded.
Advantage. Azarenka.
Fourth try. Is Kerber upset with herself because she afforded Azarenka the chance here. She's been battling so tough, making Azarenka take the lead. It's been handed over. And she takes it right back.
Juice.
Oh no.
Advantage.
Half a
Azarenka.
dozen double faults. And it's been hot and cold. And Azarenka gifted another shot at the match. Well said, New York.
Juice. Advantage. Kerber.
This time it's Azarenka who waves the finger. We're not going anywhere. The ninth game will continue.
I mean, this is truly two prize fighters just belting each other around the court.
Advantage. Kerber.
I think that's the serve that Kerber needs to hit here as well, into the forehand body of Azarenka.
When they return to Arthur Ashe Stadium for Saturday, will turn into Saturday evening.
Azarenka leads by 5-4. Final sets.
After 4 match points in the last game. There's a happy German fan. He's high-fiving everybody in the crowd.
There's cause to be excited as Angelique Kerber tries to erase bitter memories of 4 defeats in as many tries against Victoria Azarenka. Fitting that she had 4 tries, the Belarusian, to finish off the match and came up short. Fantastic effort in the ninth game as Azarenka steps to the line,
15 love.
looking to seal the deal herself. Easier said than done. Broken 6 times by Kerber today.
Third to love.
Perhaps all of Kerber's fight left at the far end, because Azarenka positions herself with multiple efforts. Her 5th match point.
2 hours, 51 minutes.
As evening has come to New York City, a daytime thriller. Round of 16 a point away. History repeats itself once more in New York City. Victoria Azarenka finds her way to victory in an epic battle. On the biggest stage in tennis, she moved through to the 4th round in 3 sets.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was one of the best matches. I don't know what it is about Angelique Kerber, but she is on the other side. Whether she wins or loses, are some of the best matches that I've seen.